Hey guys, what's going on? Paul here. Welcome back to another Cardano catch-up where we'll take a look back at some of the main news, items and events from around the Cardano ecosystem in the last few days or the last week. Also, towards the end, I'll give you a look at why I've been a bit quieter here over the last few weeks, or I suppose the last 2 months. Really, a lot of time has been going into ADA markets, and we are in open beta right now. So I'll give you a look at that and the details on how anyone can get access to it if they're interested. I've also recorded a decent few interviews over the last week or 2 weeks, and I have all of them scheduled to try and come out next week. I sat down with the founder of SNEC, Fluid Tokens, Farmer Nash from Gombles, Optum Finance to talk all about what they're doing in the DeFi space, Yam4, which is another DeFi focused project. All of them will be coming out over the next week, so make sure you're subscribed for them. Give the video a like, share it out if you think others can benefit from this. I do appreciate it. Let's jump into it. Okay, kicking it off with some World Mobile updates, and congratulations to the team. They have hit today 1,000 deployed Airnodes. So if we look over on WMT scan, you can see 520 in Zanzibar and 480 in Pakistan. And anyone who hasn't seen WMT scan before, you can come in here, you can keep track, you can see 1,000 total. You can see the network consumption in the last 24 hours. That number is going up all the time. The number of unique users, network uptime. And here is where you can see the revenue that is being earned by the Airnodes, and part of this then is what's used for the buybacks on WMT that we see generally every Monday or Tuesday. We see the buybacks, they're published on all of the socials for World Mobile. Now 1,000, I think it's a massive milestone to hit right now. I think when we look back on this in a few years time, that number is going to seem very small, even though 1,000 is a lot to have out there. But with Airnode sales opening up very soon, I think we're going to see this number substantially higher over the next few years when World Mobile goes to where I think the project can with the potential that it has. Mickey is someone I need to try and catch up with fairly soon to talk about, because there's a lot of different things happening with World Mobile. But congratulations to the team on hitting this, I would say, massive milestone right now. So then looking at protocols launching on Mainnet, and we have an announcement from ENCOINS to say that they will be going to Mainnet on Cardano on November 30th. So some people might remember the name because I talked to the team probably maybe 2 months ago now at this point about what they're trying to do and how they are bringing privacy to the Cardano blockchain. I will be running a relay node in the network to help support it and to see how it all goes. And I'm going to catch up with the team again maybe in the next 2-3 weeks to find out how they've progressed since we last talked and what their plans are for the future. Any questions about ENCOINS, then let me know down below and I'll make sure and include them in that call. On a very high level, they're bringing privacy to Cardano in the form of you can wrap up your tokens into NFTs. They can be split out and the transactions for them are private, so nobody knows what has been transferred within them. You do have to unwrap them on one side, but you can unwrap them into multiple NFTs, so nobody knows exactly what's in any of them. Obviously, it's a lot more complicated than that. We did get into it a bit in the initial interview, and we'll go maybe a bit deeper in the follow-up call, which will maybe happen in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So congratulations to the team. It's great to get to this point, and I'm always excited to see new protocols launching on the mainnet. Next up, we move on to Catalyst and another post from Danny, who was on the channel probably a while back now, talking about Fund 10 and what had changed. There are some changes coming into Fund 11, and we're going to try and connect in the next few days to record a call to talk about what's new for Fund 11, what are the changes, and go through a bit of how this is going to work. But the fund did launch 2 days ago, so that means that people can start getting their initial proposals in if they want to apply for funding in Fund 11. That's open from November 16th until November 30th, so you have to get your initial proposal in. Then you have till December 7th for the finalization. Then the community reviews, the snapshots, the voting all takes place then. But when I sit down for a chat with Danny, we'll go through all of that, and I will keep you posted as the next few weeks go by here on the channel too. Another topic of conversation over the last few days is the poll by Intersect here. So introducing a Cardano ballot event on SIP 1694. So most people will be familiar with SIP 1694 bringing Voltaire and governance to Cardano. It's been a hot topic over the last few months, and they've had loads of workshops in, as you can see here, 23 countries, over 1,000 participants, and now they're ready to put out a temperature check. But it has got a very mixed reaction, and I fully see why. They're putting out a temperature check here, and it's not going to include hardware wallet support, which I think, to me, it feels very rushed that it's been put out at this stage without allowing hardware wallet users to participate. You could move your funds into a hot wallet off your hardware wallet for the snapshot and get involved at that stage. But personally, from a security aspect, it's not really worth it for me. They do say, now Charles put out a reaction video on this just to say that this is one temperature check. It's only just to see how things are working and get some stats on it. I think whatever stats you get back on it, they're not really going to give the full picture at all. If you look at the question as well, the question feels a little bit basic. It says, based on the current progress, should we as a Cardano community continue to develop and deploy minimum viable on-chain governance as described in SIP 1694, subject to the final approval of the SPOs? And it's kind of, the question goes out there, and there was yes, no. They don't actually give the answers there. I will try and pop them up on screen here if I can find them, but if not, doesn't really matter. They're simple: yes, no, abstain. And if the answer is no on this, what's the impact? Where does it go? Or, to me, this could have probably waited another little while until we had hardware wallet support, until the question could have been more definitive over what actually happens with the answers. But we'll keep an eye on it and see where it goes. The last day to stake ADA to be included in the snapshot is the 20th of November, which is 3 days from now. The snapshot happens then on the 21st, but you will only be able to vote if you are using a hot wallet, so no hardware wallet support for this one. Moving on then to another really hotly contested topic over the last while for Cardano. Some people extremely excited about it, some people a little bit more reserved on what this is actually going to do for Cardano. So Charles put out a video yesterday, a midnight special, and it was an information-packed stream that he put out, talking all about Midnight. You can see his usual whiteboard videos going through so many different aspects and how things work, some from a technical standpoint and some from a high-level architecture, how this is going to work, how Midnight can interact with Cardano. We talked a bit about it in other update videos here about the different layers within Cardano, the settlement layer, the computation layer, and how Midnight can interact with that. Some of the main points out of it, I will do a full video on Midnight very soon, but I am going to be sitting down with someone, a special guest that is, it's been a long time coming on the channel here, someone that knows a lot about Midnight, and should be able to get a lot more information out of that and fill in any blanks that I have. So once I have that, then I'll be able to give a more detailed video on what Midnight actually is. There will be an airdrop for all ADA holders. That is going to be dust, and Charles goes through some of it in this, that will be a Cardano native asset. There will then also be a token over on the Midnight chain, which will be used for transactions. There will be ways to convert the two tokens, and this is all very high level. In the video there, he goes into a bit more detail in it and how Midnight is the first of these. And I will also recommend taking a look at this video here from Fareed, talking all about, he went through Charles's videos, he took a lot of really good notes. Do I have them? Because I watched Fareed's video earlier. He took a lot of notes on it, talking about how things work, the different levels, the different how the different levels work and how different applications can interact with it. You can see here the dual token model, which will be dust, and then the other token over on Midnight. I will also be having a live stream with Fareed. Do I have it here? This one here. Tomorrow I will be joined by Fareed to go through all the latest updates on Cardano. I'm sure Midnight's going to come up. Also a bit of a review on the Cardano Summit. What are the latest updates, some of the projects that he was able to talk to over there. So I'm looking forward to catching up with Fareed, and I'm sure Midnight will be a bit of a topic there too. Minswap have announced their Stableswap audit is going to be done by TX Pipe. So TX Pipe are becoming the go-to auditors on Cardano right now, I would say, for projects that are building contracts in ENCOIN. We talked in probably the last video I done about Minswap and version 2 and what's going to come. I'm excited to see what these guys bring, because there's a lot of really good features that were announced in the Minswap v2 that I can't wait to see go live on Cardano. On dexes with AXO Trade, we don't have a date for mainnet release yet, but they did put this one out a few days ago saying that there was 10 days left to claim your AXO token. So this is to get in and get your KYC done and set up the smart contracts to be able to claim your tokens. There's a 20% airdrop at launch, and then the tokens are into vesting contracts. Now, I did see some people raise questions about the KYC partner here. I personally don't know. I did do my KYC for this to get some of the tokens that I will be due from it, but everybody needs to do their own due diligence, decide if they want to get involved in this. But for anyone who hasn't claimed their tokens yet and do want to claim them, you have until the 23rd, which is 6 days from now. So anyone interested in the NFT side, I done a live stream last weekend with Blake's NFT, with Tommy from Freedom 35s and Jason, who'd been on the channel before talking about jelly cubes. And we went through the NFT space in general, what their thoughts are, because these guys are a lot deeper into this space than I am. But I really enjoyed the conversation, talked kind of about different utilities, different projects, and where they see the space going. It's probably something we're going to set up on a monthly basis. Anyone interested in more regular updates on NFTs, really good guys to follow, I would say there. And I'll leave a link to that stream down below for anyone who wants to check it out. We'll probably do another one in maybe the next 3 weeks or so. So moving on then to what has been taking up a lot of my time over the last while, and I've loved being a part of building something and getting involved deeper, but it definitely does take a lot of work to get it there. So actually that's not the boast, but that was last Saturday night was spent looking at numbers and the algorithm to try and make sure that we are getting the best possible splits for anyone that's looking to swap on Cardano. So at its core, what we have built is a DEX aggregator. So this is the beta version that people have access to right now. Anyone that wants to get access to it, then if you're in the Discord, just ask for access to beta and we'll give you the role with all the details. But we will go into an open beta, so that's for everybody to come in and access it maybe early next week, but we'll see. We're just implementing. It's been great so far. Anyone watching this that has got into beta and has given feedback or suggestions for improvement, we've been able to integrate a lot of the features that people were looking for from beta. Some of the things that needed to be tidied up, we've been able to do that. Still a few bits to do, that's why we're not into open beta yet, but it's been great. Thanks very much to everybody who has tested, has suggested features, because after people suggested them and we put them in, it's like, yeah, that's really something that is was needed or is a really good improvement. So here's what it is. So just in case people haven't heard of a DEX aggregator, instead of going to one DEX, so on Cardano we've a lot of DEXs. So where do you go to get the best price for when you want to trade? What you do is, say I have ADA, I want to trade to, let's see, what else am I going to trade to here? So let's trade to World Mobile, since we talked about them at the start, and I can put them up here. I can add them as one of my favorites, so they're there. If I go back in, they're always there as a favorite. I can add anything else. Book, I didn't mean to click on book, but if I go in here and I want to add book as a favorite, you can see it's added up here, so it remembers it. We'll go with World Mobile for this one, and let's say I wanted to put in 1,000, or that's 10,000, 1,000 ADA. It goes off, it searches all of the DEXs, comes back and says I will get the best value swap for myself if I go through SundaySwap. So you can see down here it says go through SundaySwap, put 1,000 ADA through it. These are all the details, the price that I'm going to get, the price impact, estimated receive. Minimum receive then is always the percentage less than the estimated that I'm willing to receive, and that's based on my slippage, which at the minute is 2%, batcher fees, and the deposit which you send with any native asset swap on Cardano. So it's constantly updating. You can see there refreshed, so every few seconds it refreshes to make sure it has the latest prices. If I change that to 10,000 ADA, you can see then that it's recommending that I split over these three DEXs here. So when you hover over, you get the percentage that it's going to split over all of them. And for splitting over these three DEXs, I would get 48 extra World Mobile over swapping into just one single DEX. So you can see it works out everything that you need to do. You can get here. You get all the individual details on the exchanges. So the idea behind this was that when you are going to swap, you can get absolutely every detail about where every ADA is going and how it's all going to work by this here. If I wanted to process this swap, I click on swap, and then I get this up here. So you can see I have insufficient funds in the current wallet, but this is the summary that I get. So I'm selling this. This is what I'm going to get back, the estimated amount of WMT. This is the minimum that I'm going to get back. Deposits, batcher fees. You can see at the minute there is a 0 ADA fee from us. There's going to be no fees during the beta, and then there's going to be a small fee on this for split swaps. So if we can't find you a profitable swap that splits over multiple dexes, then there's going to be no fee. So you can just go and you can do all the swaps through us, and if it goes through a single dex, then there's going to be no fees from us. It's just the normal fees from the dexes that you can see here. So just in here, actually under settings, this is where you can set your slippage. You can set whatever slippage you want, 2, 3, 1, or you can put in this box, you can type in whatever you want. Then you have dexes. So this shows all the dexes we currently support. Any new dexes coming out, we will be looking to integrate them so you can split across as many dexes as possible on Cardano. So right now we have the 6 active dexes on Cardano. If for some reason there's one of these dexes that you don't want any of your trades going through, then you can come in and untick the dexes that you don't want to interact with, and then our algorithm won't take them into account when it's looking to find you the best swap. Personally, at the minute, all the dexes seem to be working fine, so I'm happy for my trades to go through any of them if they can give me the best prices. Nodes. This is something that there was feedback from the beta users was, is there a way to make their swaps faster? So what we done was we integrated with Koios. So Koios is an API provider on Cardano to get data back. They also have a highly optimized network of nodes that you can submit transactions through. As we are a paying client, because we use some of the data from them, we use our own chain syncs and things like that too. We do pull some data from them. Then this was an option that was there. So what we have now is that if you come in here and you turn on the use Koios nodes, that means that when you sign the transaction, so all transactions can be submitted through here, but when you sign the transaction with your wallet, instead of the transaction then being sent to the chain through the nodes on your wallet, it can be sent through Koios. And with the speeds we've been seeing so far, it definitely does help with the speed of how quickly them transactions hit the network. Look, in the current market, it's a bit quieter, so these types of things don't matter just as much. But as the chain gets busier and as there's more and more activity with swapping, then them types of things, them few split seconds or them few seconds can make a very big difference. Another feature on this then is your swap history. So if I come in here, then I can see these are all my swaps in this particular wallet. So I have a few different wallets I use for trading. You can see when the trade happened, whether it was a buy, sell. You can see these are all buys from ADA into tokens. You can see the DEX, what you paid, what you received, and the price you got. Then you have the status. You can see some of these are still pending. So they were limit orders, or they were submitted as market, and maybe they couldn't be executed because the price went out of bounds. So they sit there waiting for the market to come back. But if I wanted, I could cancel any of these through the system here, or I could multiple tick. So I could tick multiple trades there, go up to actions, and actually that's appearing white. It should appear gray, but we're only in beta, so it's okay. And I could cancel the two of them together. So I could cancel them in one TX all through here, and they could be on separate dexes. It doesn't matter. You can cancel them all there. Also, you can see export. So say you needed all of your trades for taxes or whatever else you wanted for your records, you can come in here, and so you could select all of the trades, or you could just select individual ones and you can export them out to Excel. You also have the option here to, again, background should be gray, it doesn't really matter. I can take off this one, or I can take off this one, and whatever ones I take off, the rest then can be exported out to Excel. Or maybe you just prefer not having as many columns there. So there is more features built that aren't enabled yet. There's other ones that we're working on, but the idea is to get the swap engine working, make sure it's all working fine and working really smooth first. So far so good. A few little bits of things that need to be fixed up, lots that have been fixed up and new features enabled thanks to our beta testers. So look, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Anyone who wants to check out ADA Markets, go in and check it out. For this video, I did say there was some ENS coins to give away. So the team has given me, I think, 100 to give away with this video. So anyone who comments down below, give the video a like, comment, subscribe, put in a comment either about ENCS going live on Mainnet or ADA Markets, one or the other, and I will pick a random winner over the next few days. Maybe sometime next week I'll pick that. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you soon.